You wake up every day with the same 24 hours as the billionaires, the fighters, the legends, but you don't treat your time like it's gold, you treat it like it's worthless. That's why you're stuck in the same place while others are pulling ahead, and you know it. Deep down, you feel it every time you scroll past success and feel that sting in your gut, that jealousy, that frustration. But instead of channeling it into action, you suppress it with distractions, TikTok, video games, junk food, Netflix, comfort. You've been lied to since the day you were born. You've been told to obey, to follow the system, to sit down, shut up, go to school, get in debt, get a job, pay taxes, retire, die. That's the Matrix. And if you think they designed that system for you to win, you're already lost. They don't want lions, they want sheep. Weak, compliant, addicted to entertainment, emotionally fragile, physically soft, mentally distracted. They want you fat, lazy, broke, and confused. And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is your wake-up call. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your government, not your boss, not your friends, no one. You are your only rescue. And the longer you wait for a savior, the longer you stay a slave. A slave to weakness, a slave to excuses, a slave to fear, a slave to your own lack of discipline. And I get it. Discipline is hard. It's brutal. It demands sacrifice. But you know what's harder? Regret. Waking up 10 years from now in the same position, looking in the mirror and hating the man you see because he never had the courage to step up. You want to be rich? Build a body people respect? Dominate life? Then act like it. Stop posting quotes and start lifting weights. Stop dreaming and start building. Wake up earlier. Eat like a warrior. Train like a killer. Think like a strategist. Speak like a leader. Move like you're being watched by your future self, because you are. Every choice you make is being judged by the man you're becoming. Every second you waste is a second you hand to your competition. There are men out there right now working harder than you, learning faster than you, sacrificing more than you, and they will take everything you ever wanted if you don't evolve. They don't care about your excuses. The world doesn't care that you're tired, that your friends flake, that you feel unmotivated. The world rewards execution. The world bows to relentless effort. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you demand. So demand more from yourself. Raise your standards. Burn the safety net. Put your back against the wall and go to war with comfort. Become obsessed. Not interested. Obsessed. Obsessed with improvement. Obsessed with power. Obsessed with power. Obsessed with breaking your limits. Because obsession is what separates the average from the alpha. The moment you start treating life like a game you're here to dominate, everything changes. You stop apologizing for your ambition. You stop asking for permission. You stop doubting yourself. And suddenly, the world starts to shift. Opportunities come. Money flows. Respect multiplies. But none of that happens until you develop the mindset of a killer, a cold, calculated, relentless man on a mission. Not because he wants praise, but because he refuses to live a mediocre life. You see, the strongest men aren't loud, they're focused. They're silent, disciplined, and lethal. They're not interested in being liked, they're interested in results. And those results are built in the shadows. While everyone's partying, they're studying. While others are sleeping, they're training. While the world complains, they execute. Day after day, year after year, until they become undeniable. You want freedom? Then stop being a prisoner to your feelings. You want respect? Then stop begging for validation. You want to be unstoppable? Then learn to suffer. Learn to endure pain. Learn to smile when life punches you in the mouth. Because pain is a tool. It forges character. It destroys weakness. It exposes the coward inside you so you can kill him and replace him with a weaponized version of yourself. That version doesn't complain. He doesn't wait. He moves. He acts. He builds. And the more pain he feels, the more unstoppable he becomes. That's the secret. Most people run from pressure. But pressure creates diamonds. Pressure makes killers. If you can learn to thrive under pressure, nothing can stop you. Not failure. Not rejection. Not fear. Fear is a lie. You were taught to fear discomfort because they knew discomfort would make you powerful. They stripped masculinity out of men, told you it's toxic to be dominant, told you to be soft, to cry, to be passive. Why? Because a weak man is easy to control. But not you. You're waking up. You feel it in your bones. You're not tired. You're just undisciplined. You don't lack time. You waste it. You don't lack opportunity. You avoid it. You don't lack strength. You suppress it. The world didn't rob you. You surrendered. Every single man alive has pain, has setbacks, has enemies, but the winners are the ones who turn pain into power and rejection into fuel. Weak men avoid hardship. Strong men eat it for breakfast. You think life's supposed to be fair? That's your first mistake. Life isn't fair, it's war, and the battlefield is your mind. Either you master it or it masters you. Either you break limits or they break you. No one cares about your problems. Not really. They care about results. You don't get applause for potential, only performance. So why are you still sitting around whining, numbing yourself with fake dopamine, faking confidence online while your reality is soft, predictable, weak? The truth is, you've been living in denial. You've been comfortable in a world designed to keep men soft, but comfort is killing you. It's robbing you of your edge, your fire, your birthright. You were born to conquer, to lead, to dominate, and deep down, you know that. You feel the beast inside you scratching to get out, but every time it roars, you silence it with excuses. I'll start next week. I'm too tired. I'm too busy. I don't have the money. Bullshit. Excuses are lies your cowardly mind tells you to justify staying average. You have time. You're just lazy. You have energy. You just misuse it. You have opportunity. You're just scared to face it. So what do? You scroll. You binge. You waste. You avoid. And every day you delay your greatness. You bury the king inside you deeper beneath layers of weakness, fear, and distraction. But the king is still there, waiting, watching, starving for a war. And today is the day you give him one. Enough talking, enough planning, enough lying to yourself. Get up, put your phone down, go to the gym, learn a skill, start a business. Fight your demons head on. People will doubt you. Good, use it. People will laugh. Perfect. They're fuel. The hate is fuel. The fear is fuel. Every obstacle in your path is a signal from the universe saying, this is where men are forged. You become dangerous not when life is easy, but when you've survived hell and kept moving. That's when you become untouchable. That's when you walk into a room and people feel you before you speak. That's when women respect you, men admire you, and enemies fear you. Not because of what you say, but because of what you've become. And you become that man by deciding today, right now, to reject the lies, to reject comfort, to reject mediocrity, and to wage war on weakness every single day. You will sacrifice. You will be misunderstood. You will bleed. But in the end, when your name echoes across rooms, when your bank account's untouchable, when your body looks carved from war, when your mind is bulletproof, you will know it was worth it. You will look back at the man you once were, the soft, lazy, addicted, lost boy, and you'll thank him for dying. Because a warrior was born in his place, and that warrior never backs down, never begs, never breaks. He just builds and wins and dominates forever. You want to be rich? Then stop acting poor. Stop thinking poor. Stop surrounding yourself with people who normalize failure, celebrate weekends, and glorify mediocrity. Poverty isn't just about money, it's a mindset, a disease of the weak, a virus that convinces you that playing small is noble, that settling is safe, that ambition is toxic. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to conquer, to build an empire so untouchable that even your enemies bow in silence. But that requires sacrifice. That requires obsession. You think waking up at 9 a.m. and working a job you hate is life? That's prison. That's modern slavery disguised as stability. You think scrolling Instagram while your bank account screams is acceptable? That's a symptom of decay. Your ancestors built kingdoms with swords and blood, and here you are afraid to take risks in a world that hands you the internet, free information, and global access to billions. You have zero excuse. You're not broke because the system is rigged. You're broke because you refuse to rise. You're not stuck because life is unfair. You're stuck because you're soft. Your brain has been hijacked by cheap dopamine and empty entertainment. You consume more than you create. You talk more than you execute, and yet you wonder why nothing changes. You don't need a miracle. You need a war plan. You need to become obsessed with money, skill, leverage, strategy. You need to build so much value that the marketplace begs for your presence. Learn the game, how money moves, how influence works, how to scale, how to negotiate, how to dominate. Money doesn't go to the smartest, it goes to the boldest, the ones willing to bet on themselves, to walk alone, to lose sleep, to build while others sleep. While your friends party, you study. While they watch Netflix, you grind. While they waste years, you stack cash, build muscle, master your mind, and create assets that print forever. Don't chase money. Become the kind of man money chases. The kind who walks into a room and everyone feels his presence, because power is silent. Power is built in the dark when no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when it's just you, the grind, and the pain. And that pain, that's the entry fee. You pay in sweat, failure, sacrifice. You earn it with late nights, early mornings, broken bones, betrayed friendships, cold showers, lost weekends, and eventually, if you don't quit, you break through. You hit levels your old self couldn't even comprehend. That's when you become dangerous. That's when you become untouchable. And when you reach that point, when the money flows, the body's carved, the mind is sharp, and the soul is unshakable, remember this: the grind never stops. Because if you let your foot off the gas, even for a second, the old version of you starts creeping back, the lazy one. the broke one, the addicted one. Kill him daily and never stop building, because legacy isn't built in comfort, it's built in fire. You want to feed your family for generations? Then become the man your bloodline has never seen before. A savage in the marketplace, a warlord in discipline, a king in mindset. Don't just survive, don't just exist. Dominate or be dominated. No one gives a fuck about you. Understand that first. No one's coming to save you. Not your mommy, not your girlfriend, not your broke friends, not the system. They don't care if you drown. In fact, most people are hoping you fail because your success will expose their laziness. The world isn't cruel, it's just honest. You're either a predator or prey. And right now, you're prey. You're soft. You sleep in, you scroll, you snack, you moan, and then you lie to yourself at night pretending you'll change tomorrow. Bullshit. You've said that 1,000 times. Tomorrow is for losers. Winners execute today now with fire in their chest and violence in their discipline. You think you deserve success just for existing? You don't. You deserve exactly what you tolerate. You tolerate weakness, you stay weak. You tolerate being broke, you stay broke. You tolerate being average, you become invisible. This world only respects results. You want to be a king? Then act like one. Ruthless, cold, calculated. Wake up early, train until you bleed, work until your brain hurts, study until you outsmart every sheep around you, become dangerous. Not just physically, but mentally. Control your emotions, cut off the dead weight, walk away from anyone who slows you down. Friends, if they're not making money with you, building with you, or leveling up with you, they're your enemies in disguise. Women, stop chasing them. Chase excellence. Become so high value they chase you. Money, it's not real until it's invested, multiplied, and protected. Stack cash, stack skills, stack wins. And while everyone's talking, you're executing. While they're drinking, you're studying. While they're relaxing, you're attacking. That's how killers rise. You want luxury? Then kill the peasant inside you. That lazy voice that tells you, take it easy. Shut it down. Crush it. Rip it from your soul and burn it alive. You don't need balance. You need obsession. You need rage. You need a reason to wake up every morning like your life depends on it, because it does. Every second you waste is a second your enemies get stronger. You're in a race you didn't ask to join, but you're in it. You either sprint or get trampled. So suffer now or suffer forever. Build now or beg forever. Bleed now or bleed later. The choice is yours. But if you keep living like the man you are today, you'll never meet the monster you were born to become. Shut the fuck up and get to work. That's it. No more talking, no more goals, no more vision boards. You don't need a vision. You need a war plan. You don't need advice. You need violence, ruthless, consistent action. You want to win? Good. So does every other man on earth, but most of them will fail. Why? Because they can't shut off their emotions. They're too busy crying, posting quotes, begging for motivation. That's weakness. That's noise. You don't need motivation. You need suffering. You need pain. You need to break your body, your habits, your soft little ego, and replace it with something forged in war. You want a better life? Then you suffer for it. You wake up at 5. You eat like a machine. You train like you hate yourself. You build income streams. You learn skills. You ditch the party crowd. You delete distractions. You vanish and grind in the dark until the entire world asks, who the hell is this guy? And when they see you rise, they'll call you arrogant, obsessed, toxic. Let them. That's the sound of losers choking on your success. You think people respect the average guy who's balanced? No one respects the middle. They fear the extreme. Be the extreme. Be the man who's relentless. Be the guy no one can keep up with. The one who walks in silence but owns every room. The one who lost sleep for years to buy back his time forever. They said, relax, you're too serious. Good. You were never meant to be like them. You were built to conquer. To become the man who doesn't need a boss, a schedule, or permission. You want to know the truth? No one's stopping you. Not the government, not the haters, not your past, not your genetics. You're the only enemy left. Your laziness, your comfort, your softness. The man in the mirror is the only thing between where you are and where you want to be. Kill him. Rip him out. Replace him with a beast. You think suffering is hard? Try regret. Try being 40 with nothing, no legacy, no wealth, no muscle, no respect, and knowing you did it to yourself. That's hell. So suffer now. Bleed now. Starve now. Because later, you'll eat like a king. But only if you earn it in silence, every single day. So stop talking, stop planning, stop asking. Shut your mouth and suffer until the man you become scares the coward you used to be. You were not born to scroll your life away, stuck in an algorithm that feeds you mediocrity. You weren't born to live for the weekend, wake up to alarms you hate, drag yourself to a job that kills your soul, and pretend that your paycheck makes it worth it. That's not life. That's slavery with Wi-Fi. You're not tired, you're uninspired, you're not stuck, you're addicted to comfort. And the worst part? You know it. You know you were built for more. You feel it every time your gut twists when someone else wins. That rage inside you, that's your greatness suffocating, screaming. But you numb it with sugar, screens, sex, and sleep. You want a better life, but you keep choosing the easy path. And that path doesn't lead to greatness. It leads to nothing. You were not born to be average. You were not built to be passive, quiet, soft, obedient. You were born for war. You were built for chaos, pressure, pain, adversity. You were built to endure, to conquer, to destroy your limits. And if you want to rise, if you want to be the man people talk about for generations, you need to kill the version of yourself that accepted being average. You need to bury the coward, drown the doubt. You need to look yourself in the mirror and declare fucking war on your laziness, on your fear, on your hesitation. Every moment you spend thinking is a moment stolen from doing. Every excuse you tell yourself is another nail in the coffin of your potential. You keep talking about one day. One day you'll build the business. One day you'll get in shape. One day you'll leave that job. But the truth, one day becomes never. And then it's over. You'll be on your deathbed staring at the ceiling, realizing that you wasted the only shot you had. You let the fear of failure outweigh the pain of regret. But not anymore. From this moment forward, you become relentless. You become cold, calculated, precise. You move in silence. You vanish from comfort. You stop announcing your goals and start executing them in the dark. You sacrifice. You suffer. You grind. You bleed. Because the life you want. It doesn't come easy. It doesn't come fair. It comes to the man who outlasts everyone. The man who trains when he's exhausted, works when he's broke, stays focused when surrounded by distractions. The man who never fucking quits. You become that man by choice, not by chance. Every day, every action, every breath, you move like a weapon. You kill distraction. You kill weakness. You kill that soft voice in your head that says, it's okay to take a break. Breaks are for people who plan to stay broke. You want wealth? You build value. You study the system. You outlearn everyone around you. You earn. You stack. You reinvest. You play long-term games with long-term thinkers. And when your bank account's full, your body's carved and your mind is bulletproof, you still keep going. Because that fire in your chest, that's the killer instinct. And once it wakes up, it never sleeps again. You protect it like a savage protects his territory. You never let it fade. You feed it with work. You feed it with purpose. You feed it with pain. And that pain, you embrace it. Because you understand now, pain is proof you're leveling up. Pain is your ally. Pain separates you from the sheep. Every rep in the gym, every late night building, every moment of isolation, every betrayal, every failure, it's all part of the price. Pay it gladly, pay it daily, because freedom isn't given. Power isn't handed out, it's taken. It's earned in silence, in sweat, in suffering. You want to lead? You want respect? You want to be feared and admired at the same time? Then burn every excuse to ash and move like your life depends on it, because it fucking does. Legacy doesn't come from comfort, it comes from war. So wake up, get angry, get violent with your execution, get obsessed. No mercy, no backup plan, no surrender. This is your time. This is your battlefield. Either you become the man who conquers it, or you die forgotten like everyone else who never had the balls to try.